Hey everyone, and welcome to this breakdown of a massive shift that's literally redefining the modern business landscape. Today, we're unpacking the strategic evolution of management information systems. Now look, I know you might hear information systems and probably immediately think of, routine IT support tickets or clunky administrative software. But if you take away just one thing today, let it be this: that outdated view is exactly what's holding so many organizations back right now. We're going to look at the three major phases of this transformation based on recent analysis and uncover why upgrading your tech is, well, actually, it's only half the battle. Let's get right into it.
So, ask yourself this: is your data looking backward, or is it predicting the future? Seriously, I want to challenge how you currently view what your data should be doing for your business. Think about it. We generate an absolute mountain of information every single day. Literally from every click on a website to every single scan at a checkout counter. But what is your organization actually doing with it? Are you just hoarding it in some massive database because you feel like you're supposed to? Are you using it just to confirm things that happened, say, weeks ago, like doing a post-mortem on a missed sales quarter? Or are you actively deploying that data to see what's coming next? Look, this isn't just some hypothetical question for a late-night tech forum. It is the absolute dividing line between organizations that are barely surviving and those that are thriving in today's hyper-competitive market.
Okay, let's dive into this first major shift. For the longest time, the old standard was just data recording. A management information system basically functioned as a giant digital filing cabinet. It was pure, basic admin stuff. You make a transaction, boom, the system logs the transaction. An employee clocks in, you record the time. Inventory leaves the warehouse, it gets marked down. It was entirely passive. But now, we're moving towards strategic processing. The system isn't just passively sitting there holding data anymore. It is actively processing that information to extract real strategic value. So instead of just logging that a product was sold, it's connecting the dots. It takes those logged transactions, the time of day, the customer demographic, and it weaves them together to tell you something incredibly meaningful about consumer behavior or even upcoming market trends. It's a total paradigm shift. We're going from simply remembering facts to actually creating strategic intelligence that a business can act on immediately.
And this brilliantly illustrates the second major shift in our analysis, the evolution from historical reports to predictive analysis. Think about it like this. Relying solely on historical reports is essentially like driving down the highway at 80 miles an hour while staring fixedly into your rearview mirror, right? Like, sure, you know exactly where you've been, you've got great data on the road behind you, and you can see every single pothole you already hit. But you are completely blind to the curve approaching ahead. Predictive analysis, on the other hand, well, that's turning on the headlights. It takes that processed intelligence we just talked about and projects it forward. This is a real game changer because it allows organizations to actually anticipate market changes, forecast demand way before a seasonal rush, and proactively squash supply chain risks before they ever even happen. It literally gives you the visibility to steer the car rather than just documenting the crash after the fact.
What's really fascinating here is how these tech changes alter the very DNA of a company's structure. We're moving from a strictly operational role to a true strategic contribution. Back in the day, these information systems were heavily isolated. They were just this back-office function meant to keep the lights on, ensure the basic gears of the business kept turning without too much friction. IT handled IT, and executives handled strategy. Simple as that. But today, this transformation shows that these systems have a completely integrated role across the entire organizational process. They aren't just some operational tools stuck in a silo anymore. They're deeply, deeply embedded in the core strategic goals of the entire company. The data and insights being generated, they're now directly influencing the C-suite, shaping board meetings, and actively guiding the overall direction of upper management.
So, the absolute crucial point of this entire analysis boils down to this: technology development is just not enough. It absolutely must be followed by adjustments to work methods and decision-making mechanisms. And honestly, this is the major twist of our breakdown today. You can go out right now and buy the most expensive, state-of-the-art predictive software on the market. You can hire top-tier consultants, migrate the whole shebang to the cloud, but upgrading the software is completely useless if the humans using it don't adapt. Your team has to change their daily work habits to feed and maintain these systems properly. And even more importantly, leadership has to entirely overhaul their decision-making mechanisms to actually use this new optimal information. Think about it. If your fancy new predictive system tells you a massive market shift is coming, but your management team still insists on making decisions based on, gut feelings and historical precedent, then the technology is essentially worthless. The bottleneck isn't the processing power anymore, it's the human willingness to adapt.
Which brings us to our final and perhaps most urgent thought for today. Is your organization actually adapting, or are you just buying new software? I want you to seriously evaluate your own corporate leadership and internal systems today. Are you genuinely transforming how you work and how you make decisions to match the incredible processing power you now possess? Or are you just slapping a fresh coat of digital paint on an outdated, rearview mirror way of doing business? Because here's the truth. The organizations that are going to absolutely dominate the future aren't just the ones with the best data. They're the ones with the processes, the culture, and the people fully adapted to actually use it. And that wraps up our explainer on the evolution of management information systems. I'll leave you to think on that.